Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to round number 15 of the MRC E-Racing League EU on the PS4. We are currently on a very wet qualifying session here for round number 15 in Brazil. So a quick run through the driver standings. Currently, Evolution is leading with 191 points. He has pulled away a 10-point gap to Mr. Psycho Saint, who has 181 points. Constructors, Red Bull are currently leading with 195 points, with Ferrari in second place, just 9 points separating the two teams with 186 points. Evolution will want to try and qualify and obviously get ahead of Mr. Psycho Sane at the start, as we see a yellow flag in sector 3, but we do have our first lap time on the board by Fola Okix with a 1 minute 19.8. Callas, fantastic lap time for the Alfa Romeo driver. Up into third, knocks Evolution down to fourth with a 120.2. Very small margins between himself and Evolution, and he's had a little bit of a spin. We've just caught that, a little bit of a spin coming into the end of starting to the middle of sector 2. I don't think he's got any damage. Even if he does, he hasn't crashed out. He can get into the pits and get a new set of tyres if needed, or get the wing damage replaced if he has any. Currently in provisional P1, has come out, or will be coming out, on a set of inters. There he is in the pink Force India. So a lot of the drivers are finding that the wets were a safe strategy to start this qualifying session on. However, the Inter seems to be the best time, as Evolution puts in a fantastic lap time on his set of Inters, a 119.0. Will we see some drivers going into the 118s? They're going to have to try and get into the 18s if they want to try and knock Evolution from pole position. And Carlos sets a fastest time of the qualifying. It's getting quicker and quicker. This lap is drying up quite quickly. These Inters are coming into their own, and even more faster times. Fantastic lap from Gilzo. It's a 1 minute 17.8. A whole second, literally 1,000th of a second off. A whole second quicker than Callas in the Force India. Takes provisional pole with 4 minutes to go. Callas, Mr. Psycho, needs to find a lot of time to be getting anywhere near that other time. Fantastic from Gilzo. So provisional pole so far is Gilzo. He thinks he's done enough. He is in the pit. He won't be doing any more laps unless he tries to pump one out at the very end, but I don't see him coming out anytime soon. Orshas has come into the pits. He's had enough. He's probably didn't fuel up enough. But yeah, he's in the pits now. He'll be hopefully starting P4. And Fola sets the fastest lap time. This track is getting quicker and quicker. It's 117.4 for him. 3.5 tenths quicker than Gilzo. Gilzo has realised his mistake. Probably didn't put enough fuel in to keep doing laps. He's run out of fuel. He might have run out of fuel. I think he has. He's pulling off the track. Why is he going backwards? He's trying to put himself into a safe place to retire, and he has retired. As Johannes has set the fastest lap time for pole position with 20 seconds to go. Still a lot of drivers doing laps though. Gilzo is currently out in a lap. He is trying to be the last person to cross the line. We'll ride a ball with him now. Will he make it across the line? I think he will with 10 seconds to go. I think he might have timed it perfectly. I think he has indeed timed it perfectly. IE7 and I goes third, provisionally third, 117.7. I told you, laps getting quicker, and that is it. Anyone who crosses the line now will not be able to set any more lap times. That will be their final lap. So we'll keep on board with Gilzo. We'll keep looking at the time screens as we go along. This was the last guy to cross the line, and he will be probably setting the fastest of the track conditions at the moment. Yellow flag in sector 3. I'm not sure what that is for. Probably for a slow driver or someone who's retired. Oh, and Gilzo's made a mistake. He's made a mistake. He's off the track. I don't know what happened there. He's retired. He's had enough. He realised his mistake, and he'll be starting in P5. It will be P5. As we run through the grid, he didn't improve, but Johannes has got pole position from the Red Bull of Fola in P2, Callas in P3 in the solo Alfa Romeo, RC7 in P4, Gilzo P5, Mr. Psycho Sane crucially ahead of Evolution in P6, Jome in P7, Orsers in P8, Nellis P9, and Evolution round out the top 10. So Force India are lining up in pole position on the grid. Red Bull slowly there. Not interesting to see. No Ferraris on the grid, so they're going to lose out in the constructors battle. But we're going to start riding on board with Fola to catch the action. Ready for 5 red lights. Here we go then, ladies and gents. 5 red lights are coming on now. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. We are away here in Brazil for round number 15, and an excellent start from Johannes from the grid, continuing in P1. Fola following through in P2 currently. A little bit of action further back in the grid as drivers starting to hustle through the first couple of corners. All interesting. Not much positions moved as we go further down. It looks like Fola might be making a move for the lead. Up the inside he goes into turn 3, into turn 4 as well. Now he looks like he's got the job done, but the Force India of Johannes is going to try and hold it round the outside. He will have the inside for the next corner if he keeps his nose in. Decides to hold back. Very set, and there is the yellow flag. Evolution is out of this race. He has got retired with Orchards as well. There must have been contact between both of those drivers. That's absolute calamity for Red Bull. Will Johannes hold up his teammate if he's a little bit slower? Will these teammates be communicating? Oh, and up the inside goes Callis. He tries to make a move. He's holding that inside. It's like these cars are glued together. Jesus Christ. He's still side by side. What is going on? They're literally stuck together like two pieces of Lego as they go through the second sector. A little bit of desync, I believe, between these two drivers. No damage as I'm aware of, but very interesting to see in this race as Callis still in P4. And now Callis has got the other Force India. Up the inside he goes into turn 5. Job done. Oh, there's a little bit of spin. There's contact between Force India and Alfa Romeo. Oh, calamity as the Alfa Romeo has got collected by, I believe, that was a McLaren. Yes, it was. Mr. Psycho Sane has got damage as well. Absolute calamity between Callis and the Force India, as well as Mr. Psycho in the Mercedes. But yeah, Mr. Psycho Sane did get wing damage in that incident between the Force India and the Alfa Romeo. Yep, Johannes and Callis in the pits, follow suit into the pits. He had a 5-second stop-go penalty as well, Mr. Psycho Sane. Onto the set of softs. That will ruin his strategy. I believe the softs won't be going to the end with so many laps to go. A little bit of a glitch in the pit lane as we've seen many a time, but he has managed to come away. Supers for Johannes. What he wants to do now is just push on those supers. I'm not sure how long they'll last, but he definitely will need to make one more stop. As there is yellow in sector 2 and 3, and Callis is gone. Callis is out of this race. Not sure what happened to him. Oh, there we can see a little bit of debris on the side of the wall there. I believe that will be Callis. It is indeed. He must have lost it. There'll be a little bit of feistiness in the chats, as I will believe, between these drivers. But at the end of the day, keep it together. Don't lose your head. Jones could just come away with 2 points. 2 points is better than none from DNFing in this race. So on to, oh, what a run here from Gilzo. Better run out one of the final corners on this race. He is currently in the lead now. Fantastic move up the inside. Got the DRS. Pushed himself. He moved the ERS mixture up to high to give himself a little bit more energy. Pushing forward and got the move done. Fantastic from the Force India driver. Fola has taken the lead of this Grand Prix as Gilzo makes his pit stop. He's felt that he needs to pit now. Yellow flag in sector 2. Trophy Hunter has retired. Oh, it's been a calamity. There's been a collision between Trophy Hunter and Johannes. What has happened there? Between two drivers, we know Trophy Hunter was a lap down, even from Johannes. So what are those two drivers been doing? Another 5-second stop go penalty for Johannes as well. Absolute calamity for the Force India driver. And in comes Fola into the pit lane. Has he pushed enough to cover Gilzo on his outlap? He comes through turn 14 now and 15. There's the pit entry. Down the pit straight he goes. Where is Fola going to come? You can see the Toro Rosso just coming through turn 1 now. It's going to be very close between these two drivers. Fola will have the tighter lines coming through these corners, and it looks like Gilzo has still managed to take the provisional lead of this Grand Prix, as Gilzo has made the move on Nelles. He did not want to keep behind Nelles on those old 18-lap old mediums. He's now got himself a cushion between himself and Fola, although Fola will now get DRS from Nelles. What will Nelles do? Will Nelles be pitting? He doesn't. He sticks it out, but Neles will have DRS. Will Fowler make a dive up the inside into turn 1? He does indeed. Oh, and a little bit of switchback from Neles. Doesn't work this time, and fantastic move there from Fowler. He needed to make that move as soon as possible. Williams going to have DRS. He's going to push his ERS. Both of them are pushing their ERS, and up the inside goes William again. Literally replica move of what he did, but doesn't get the greatest exit of turn 5. And the Williams driver wants to fight back. He doesn't manage to do it this time. Oh, late under the brakes, so nearly hitting the back of the Renault driver. Doesn't manage to get. Oh, and there's a little bit of contact as William broke a little bit early into the, or RC7 broke a little bit later into that corner. I'm not too sure whether RC7 has got damage. It doesn't look like it from looking at his car. So the gap between Gilzo and Fowler is still within half a second. Fowler does have DRS once again, but he's just not close enough. What is it going to take for Fowler to manage to pull himself back into the guaranteed lead of this race? So 9 laps, 9 key laps for Fowler now. 9 laps to think about. Where can I make this move? Where is Gilzo susceptible to being overtaken? Not many laps to go here in this Brazilian Grand Prix, as Gilzo does have 1 lap older tyres, but I don't think it will come down to that towards its end, because Fowler has been sitting in the dirty air and the slipstream of Gilzo literally for all 10 laps at Fowler. Well, not all 10 because he had to make the move on Neles, but at least 7 or 8 laps behind the Force India. Still, it doesn't seem to be close enough to get anywhere near Gilzo on this start-finish straight. The DRS is just not enough. You don't want to be doing any Ricciardo-esque late moves. He is in the Red Bull, but I don't think he'll be pulling out any Ricciardo moves on him at the moment. But he does have a lot of ERS to use. He must save it through the slower parts of the lap and then push for the 2 straights where he can utilise high ERS mixture. And Gilza doesn't have that much, only 24%, but he is starting to save through the rest of this lap. That's where we can see Fowler slowly pull in, but it's just exits and not quite there. Dean Team has had a horrendous pit exit and he's given up. He's felt he's had enough. He feels like, I don't know why he's done that. Fowler's got a better run on Gilzo. Now, he did get a 3-second time penalty. That is not going to help him now, so I think he's going to have to make this move. Oh, a little bit of contact, a little bit of argy-bargy there. Don't know what you're doing there, Fowler. A little bit of a push and shove there. Not sure why, but Gilzo is going to fight back. He's going to have the outside coming up towards turn 6 and 7. Fowler fights back, pushes him a little bit wide, and has taken the lead of this race. He does, however, have a 3-second time penalty, which just saw pop up. At least one 3-second time penalty, and I don't think Gilzo does. So Fowler's going to have to push on. But as we saw from himself, it's very hard to pull away out of the 1 second window when they're already in the 1 second. Willem managed to do it against RC7, but will Fowler be able to do it to Giza? As we come on to lap 33, only 4 laps to go. Going to have a quick look at the race directory at penalties. Have a quick look at Fowler. He has got 1 penalty and an extra warning. Gilzo, he has got, oh, he's got a stop go. Did he serve it? No, he hasn't. Very interesting indeed. Here Gilzo does have a stop go. I think I read it out when it happened, but he does have a stop go penalty. So the ball is in Gilzo's park now. He needs to overtake and push a 2-second gap, because Fowler only has 1 penalty and that's 3 seconds. Gilzo has 5-second penalty, which will be added on at the end, as Gilzo gets himself a 3-second time penalty there. So that is now calamity on Gilzo. He is not going to be getting a race victory here unless Fowler makes a massive mistake towards the end of this Grand Prix. He's going to get right in the slipstream of the Red Bull. Red Bull's going to cover the inside line once again. Round the outside goes Gilzo. Does he make the move stick? Fantastic move there from Gilzo. It looks like he ran a little bit wide, but he has made the move stick. Fantastic job there from Gilzo. out the whole thing, as Gilzo does come across the line to provisionally win, but he had a 5-second stop-go penalty unserved. So Fowler takes race victory here around Brazil in the Red Bull, keeps the title fight alive for the Red Bull in the Constructors. Gilzo takes P2, and my driver of the day, Willem Penarza 023, gets the final spot on the podium position. Fantastic drive from the Renault driver. Race victory. As we see, look at the title, look at the podium, look at Red Bull cheering him on. Fantastic drive from him to take race victory here in Brazil. As we run through the final standings, Fowler does take race victory there with just the 1 3-second time penalty from Gilzo in P2 in Force India. That 5-second stop-go penalty faulted him in getting the win today. William, fantastic drive for him getting P3, RC7 P4, Nellis P5, Mr. Psycho saying P6. Johannes a recovery drive to get himself P7 after making 3 stops in this race.